Good evening, Plum here, playing World of Tanks, and your eyes do not deceive you. That is a Tog II. I just purchased this tank. I've been having a platoon last night with Panzerpenguin, as you can see there, and he's also in his Tog II. And I've always wanted one of these, and it's been discounted at the moment. If you're watching this video on Saturday, I believe it's still discounted for a little bit longer. You might only have a few hours though to grab one of these with 30% off. So there we are, screaming along. We are flying now. This is so slow. But it's so funny to watch it move. It's just this big kind of hot dog on tracks. It's insane. One of the most insane tanks in the game. And I'm quite excited to own one now. So looking forward to some more Tog platoons, which is the way you want to roll in these things. Because if there's two of you and you stick together, you've got tremendous amount of firepower to unload at given targets. But that all kind of relies on you getting to the targets, which is the problem with the Tog II. That top speed, you know, we're on relatively flat ground, just been through some rubble, but we're nudging 13 kilometers an hour. 13. You can nearly count them on your fingers. So I suggested we go over this way to the west flank because it's a little bit closer, geographically speaking. Most of our other heavy tanks have also gone this way, so we probably should have, in hindsight, stopped, turned around and gone over to the other flank, which is now relatively undefended. Got a KV-220 over there. But no, we persevered, we started. Got to follow these things through in the Tog. You can't go changing your mind. So we think, well, you know, see what happens. So on we press, looking for targets. Kind of tank, you just got to see a target, don't stop, just roll towards it, keep it in front of you, and start whacking it over the head with your 12 shots a minute, once every 5 seconds, firepower. It's a wonderful thing, this machine, when it starts working. So we're cruising on up, moving on up, slow and steady. It's a bit like the tortoise and the hare, the Tog. Slow and steady wins the race. Is it just going to be these two Togs left at the very end of the game with the rest of the team dead? They may be tortoises, but all these whippersnapper hares over here all gallivanting off and getting stuck in. That's not how you play World of Tanks. Tanks is a game of majestic steel beauty just rolling along, slow and steady. Finally we're going to start to encounter some enemy tanks. They've obviously made quite a press over here on the northwest of the map, but we've done exactly the same on the southeast. It happens quite commonly. You get one superior force go one flank and the other superior force goes the other flank, and you just essentially swap places. Except our secret weapon is the two Togs. Now we are only losing by one tank at the moment. Finally we're going to very slowly creep into a position near where we started. Quite frankly, we should have just sat in the cap and let them come to us. It might have been the better thing to do. Maybe every game, if you're in a Tog platoon, just sit in the cap and just let your team get killed, and then let all the enemy tanks come to you. Might be more sensible. So, get my first target, and for some reason that M6 driver thinks it's a good idea, instead of moving into cover, to reverse back out into the open and take a second hit from a Tog. Hopefully he's learnt his lesson, he won't do that again. We'll see. So our force is now quite well spread out across the map. I take a bounce and actually get an engine fire, which is rather lovely. Creeping up, creeping up. This is nice. That tank is cooking. We lose sight of him. So I'm thinking we need to push up here and not push up too much. The longer you can keep tanks at arm's length in this, probably the better, since it is so slow to manoeuvre. You kind of always need to be thinking 10 seconds ahead in this tank, and that's probably being modest. You want to be thinking about a minute ahead. What's going to happen? What are they going to do? I think this is probably where lots of experience comes into play driving Togs. let alone your battle efficiency, just lots and lots of having driven tanks a lot, knowing the maps, knowing what people normally do, just to give you that almost sixth sense of, let's go here, if we get over here in time, we'll be ready, they'll come around the corner, we'll be set up. Ultimately that appears to be sort of the thing that gets me killed in the end. I don't think far enough ahead to my current situation and it gets me killed, but you'll see what happens to me. So I've got one kill. Panzerpenguin's still waiting for his first kill. He has done some damage to tanks. We're both still on full health, so our health pool at the moment is 2,800 between the two of us. Imagine what it would be if there was the three of us on this team. Are these things overpowered? Well, they've got pretty slow turning turrets. Obviously the chassis turns. You know, you could walk around it and you could beat it, let alone being in another tank. So it's 4 against 3. But they do still have artillery. Artillery is the biggest problem for the Tog. Such a slow moving, enormous target. Who's Artie going to shoot at? The fast moving tank destroyer or the slow moving massive Tog? So now I'm using this ridge line just to show my turret. Well aware that he keeps on spotting me, so Artie's just going to keep on dropping shells on me. Luckily, either it's a brand new Artie player and he hasn't got much crew experience, but he keeps missing. Waiting for him to poke his nose out maybe. Thinking no, he's not going to do that. He's playing pretty smart, he's just fighting with one tank at a time. There's another miss. So now we're thinking, right, let's go and get the KV-1S. Dangerous tank. I haven't noticed the Churchill one on my minimap just then, which would have probably made me change my mind about this situation. Anyway, here I am, taking hits now on the left. What's this? The KV-1 has turned up. So, according to minimap, I should have a Churchill appearing any moment beside me, which I was unaware of at the time. Probably because I was having too much fun driving this thing. Come on, Churchill, show yourself. Ultimately, this position of mine is going to get me killed. I'm basically just sat in the middle of nowhere. I've got no additional cover. Look at the size of me. I am just enormous. Anyway, we get the drop on this KV-1S. He comes after me. I shoot him. And then Panzer shoots him. Boom. Job done. But my health pool is diminishing very, very, very quickly. Now I manage, I think, just to break line of sight with the KV-1. Just so it's one-on-one. Trying to keep my gun on this guy, and we're whittling him down, and I keep getting bounces because he's angled much better at me. Thankfully, Panzerpenguin takes him out, so now it's just 2 against 2. And I'm thinking quite optimistically now, oh, if I can just manoeuvre my tank somewhere other than this middle of his open ground, but then KV-1 turns up and plants a shot right into me. So all of that indecision sitting in that open ground, I think, probably got me killed. What I should have done, when that Churchill was on the mini-map and I saw it coming up that centre gully, I should have manoeuvred. Good job there. Panzerpenguin takes out the KV-1. So now it's just a Tog against an artillery, which could be a very long, drawn-out affair. I should have moved up to those rocks directly north of that camera position there, and done that as soon as I saw the Churchill coming up, just to give me a better firing position and, you know, minimise my exposure. But I didn't do that because I was just indecisive. Got to get used to driving a Tog, that mentality of thinking ahead. So let's wait to follow Panzerpenguin. I am loving my new tank, as it says in chat. I don't care that I died. I think it was fantastic. How can I switch to the other tank once I'm dead? Finally we get there. So, what's going to happen? This could take a while. But I don't recall it takes that long, in fact. Let me just speed it up a little bit. Look at that, that's ×2 and it's still moving slowly. There's the bishop. Now the bishop does not have very good manoeuvrability. The gun pretty much sucks on it. I think I'd tell him in chat that you're not going to get one-shotted by the bishop, so you may as well just go down there and shoot him. His reload's not that good. He is artillery after all, and he fires the bishop and does 4 damage. And that's game over. So the Togs win. Don't Togs win every game? If there's a Tog in it, you're going to win. That's what it feels like sometimes. Enjoyed that match, it was good fun, and as my first introduction to Togs, I'm very impressed. Very impressed indeed, looking forward to playing many more of those. Here are the game results of the game you just saw. So I managed to get 2nd class mastery badge, and also a nice little display of colours and pretties on the battle efficiency screen. How do we do on the team? Well, we came top, the pair of us. Actually, Panzerpenguin did a damn fine job in his Tog. 2,257 damage done, 4 tanks killed, and 1,130 XP. Nearly double what I got in 2nd place on all counts. So, damn fine job, Panzerpenguin. He certainly carried us all to victory there. Their KV-1S player did a damn good job too. I think he got high caliber. 3,402 damage, but it wasn't enough to carry him against the mighty Togs. And I fired 15 shots, 10 direct hits, 7 penetrations, doing 1,200 damage. Received 9 hits, and 8 of them penetrated, so that wasn't so great. But you've got the health pool to soak it up, and if it's tier 5 shooting at you, you're probably going to get more bounces than perhaps I did. And I even did 216 spotting damage. That's nice. So those are the first game in the Tog. I'm looking forward to playing many more of those. Awesome machine. If you can get one, get one. It doesn't matter what you like playing normally. The Tog is so unique that it doesn't have rules that it drives by. It's its own machine completely. There is no pigeonholing the Tog. It is just a rare tank indeed. Anyway, take care. Keep your heads down. Drink plenty of water, and I will definitely play again soon. Bye bye.